It's always good to mix things up a little bit. I was taking a few notes. I'll share those with you. Today is February 7th, 2016. And also, I talked to my stepmom, who's, Polish, how to pronounce Michael's last name, Zajachowski, I think. That word right there. Anyways, good job on you, man. Stars, new astrons, planets, old astrons. They're both astrons. Now, what I wanted to show you guys is the top of this page right here. You have 6 little bubbles. If you can see, planets, stars, AGNs, which are active galactic nuclei, and you have, radio galaxies and quasars, and then you have your giant molecular clouds. And the rationale is the chemical reactions occur inside of giant molecular clouds, and the nuclear reactions occur inside of stars. But that's problematic because the most violent reactions in the entire universe are active galactic nuclei, quasars, and radio jets out of those birthing galaxies. And planets, well, they're comprised of entirely chemical compounds, so how exactly did those chemical compounds come to be inside those planets, and how did they become around? Of course, Bill Gates, I remember him telling me, like, how are they so round? Why are they round? And what you'll see here is there's no connecting line from chemical reactions, chemical reactions to where they're supposed to be, which is right here and right here. And there's their nuclear 1950s style ideas are connected to stars. That's a very, very, very big mistake. Very big mistake. They went off on a tangent because they wanted to make the sun as old as the Earth, so they invented a process called the fusion model of stars, which is absolutely false. The sun is actually a lot younger than the Earth. The Earth is very, very, very old. The sun is a brand new Earth. It's very, very, very young. Still way too hot to host life. And we'll eventually get there as it moves through its regular stages of evolution. But to keep things more simplified here, I went ahead and drew a little diagram. You have nuclear reactions being directly related to quasars, radio galaxies, and X-ray sources. That's where fusion reactions are taking place, okay? Not inside of stars, okay? Stars, astrons, planets, that's where the chemical reactions are taking place, okay? So you have chemical reactions going down, and you have nuclear reactions going down this way, and you have giant molecular clouds, which are comprised of smashed up remains of ancient dead stars, stellar ejecta from impacts, coronal mass ejections, solar flares, and solar wind from billions of stars, obviously, and leftover material that never formed into stars. So when the radio jets ejected the matter out, some of that material was formed into stars, some of it just kept on wandering around in the galaxy. But as you can see here, it completely simplifies everything that the scientists are studying. Instead of this strange, haphazard idea where the most violent reactions or violent objects in the universe aren't connected to anything. Why is it they're so violent? What's happening there? Why is it they ignore any talk of fusion happening inside of these objects? Because that's where it's happening. The most violent reactions we're aware of are happening inside of these objects, not inside of stars. The stars are chemical. As well, when they cool, shrink, and die, they become what's called the planet. Obviously, the planet is the end result of stellar evolution. That's where all the chemical reactions are taking place as it cools and dies and the heavier material sinks to the center. But it's as simple as that. And I've noticed a lot of people, they want to keep stars as being the source of fusion reactions because they're so big and hot. Well, you have chemical reactions taking place that are very, very energetic as well. So you have to look into that as well. Producing UV radiation, plasma recombination, those kind of reactions. those are the very high energetic chemical reactions where things can be very, very ionized. All the electrons can be ripped away from atoms by many fold. Say you have 26 electrons around, hypothetically, an atom. You can rip not only the outer layer, but the second layer and the third layer and the fourth layer, and just to where it will become so positively charged that it behaves very, very, very strangely. But that's what we should be doing here, and I think this completely simplifies it. Again, here is the haphazard invention of astrophysicists of the 1950s and 60s and 70s, and here is a new version. I don't know if it's ever going to be adopted, but I think this majorly simplifies astronomy and geophysics. That's basically it. If people want to talk about nuclear reactions, they should be looking at where the most violent reactions are happening. If they want to be talking about chemical reactions, they need to go down a tier to where it is they see chemical reactions taking place, which is inside of stars. Alright, later.